Harlem. She gets $177 in welfare payments every month, and she's been looking for work for the past 2 years. She's a good typist, she says, but people won't hire her because she's homeless.
When you type 75 words or 85 words in a minute without no mistake, you can get a job anywhere. They still refuse me.
But things are beginning to change for Carmen. For the past 2 months, she has been going to work here at this bridal shop in the Bronx. She earns $5 an hour, 20 hours a week, thanks to one man's campaign for the homeless. He is a local actor paying her out of his own pocket.
I always thought it would be nice to do something like that. And instead of just thinking about it, one day I just said, well, you know, I'm going to do it.
What he did was persuade his friend, who owns the store, to give Carmen a shot. Here, she does everything from sweeping to serving the customers. The owner says helping the homeless will help the community.
If your business is going to prosper, the community has to prosper along with it and vice versa. And if everyone were to have that, you know, that attitude, I think that a lot of communities can solve a lot of their problems within-house.
So far, this solution is working both for Carmen and for the store. This kind of privately sponsored employment is not exactly run-of-the-mill. It is an experiment that depends entirely on the goodwill and generosity of individuals who are willing to take a chance on giving the homeless a first step. Gonzalez says he will probably offer Carmen full-time employment, and the idea is catching on. Other small businesses in the community are also thinking about hiring the homeless.
It made me feel proud that I can, you know, that I can do something in life, you know.
As for those people who refused to hire her in the past, Carmen says she is also trying to wipe out their prejudice against the homeless. Christiana Monfort, CNN, New York.
Here's some very good news. She finally gets a job, thanks to a good Samaritan. Something when we see the homeless on our streets or in the subways. Well, one man decided that he was going to do something for just one homeless person. Art McFarland tells us the story of how a good Samaritan is making a difference in one person's life.
Al Vitale has lived in the Bronx all of his life. Like most New Yorkers, he is acutely aware of the city's problems. Unlike many of us, Al decided to become part of the solution. His effort began with approaching a friend who owns Margie's Bridal Shop on the Grand Concourse.
It's an idea that's been around for decades. I mean, it's just people need jobs. It wasn't anything I thought of.
The idea concerned this woman, Carmen Mata, now working as a clerk at the shop, who lives at a Manhattan homeless shelter with her 4 children.
I don't think they consider the homeless a human being. They consider the homeless an animal. Like, oh, a homeless person cannot work. Oh, a homeless person, we cannot use the homeless person, you know.
But Carmen gets nothing but respect at Margie's Bridal Shop. Although Al has no financial interest in the shop, he is Carmen's employer. The shop is too small to afford extra help and never would have hired her had she walked in off the street. Her part-time salary of $5 an hour comes out of Al Vitale's own pocket, and her boss here is very pleased with her work.
It's not like she doesn't have skills. It's she's totally bilingual. So she has a lot to offer to our business.
It's giving me a chance to have opportunity to get better, you know, to get a better life, get a better experience.
You might assume that Al Vitale is well off financially, and you'd be wrong. He's an actor who makes most of his money doing extra work in films. But he says the money he spends on Carmen's salary is worth every penny.
One day, I just decided to do something about it. And it's very simple. It's instead of just talking about it or thinking about it, you just do it.
The bridal shop job is very valuable to Carmen for many reasons. For one thing, she says it makes her feel free, whereas being homeless is like being in jail. But more importantly, it gives her confidence and the hope that she and her children will have a future. In the Bronx, Art McFarland, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.